Estoy acá con mi amigo Sven de Berlín. Trabajamos juntos casi durante 3 años en la empresa que yo trabajaba acá en Berlín, en Club. Él trabajaba en datos, yo trabajaba en marketing. Y Sven abrió su propia empresa y nos va a contar cómo fue el proceso de abrir su propia empresa, cómo fue el proceso de levantar capital, socios, la idea, recomendaciones. Así que quédense para escuchar todo lo que tiene Sven para contar de su producto. Sven, we're gonna do this in English because Sven speaks some Spanish. Un poquito.
Sí.
But we think English is best for both of us to share his knowledge. So tell me about your company. Tell us about your company, what you launched, what you're working on.
We founded Layers like 1.5 years ago, and Layers is an AI coach that helps you live a happy life and find clarity in your life.
Great. And can you tell me a little bit about the process? How do you come up with that idea?
Well, Ole and me, my co-founder, we're two. We met 1.5 years ago in a cafe or bar in Berlin, and we brainstormed a lot about AI, what you can do with AI, because we always wanted to start our own company. And at that point, we had this idea of an AI journal, a journal that can, you can talk to it, it analyzes everything you say, gives you a weekly report, and helps you reflect a bit. Because we were both in the phase of our lives where, we went through crisis, personal crisis, and we had problems, and we thought like, okay, this is a product that we want ourselves. And then this idea of an AI journal transformed into an AI coach.
Okay. So it started with your own problems,
Yes.
right? It started with a problem you wanted to solve for yourself.
Exactly.
It's one of the best ways to start a company.
Yeah.
So tell me, you were working at that time, right?
Yes, I was working for a startup here in Berlin as an AI lead for a startup.
Okay, so great salary, great position.
Exactly. Yeah.
How do you make up the nerve to leave that and launch your own company?
I mean, I was in a really great position. I had my own team, I had a lot of freedom, I had a good salary, but it was always this nagging thought of like, okay, I want to do something for myself. Like, I want to be the boss, I want to make the decisions, I want to build something from scratch and build the baby I want to build, right?
Okay.
Like my idea, and that's something I had to do. And then there was the opportunity with Ole, and then it was an easy decision to, not so easy, right?
Okay.
Like the comfy life, but it was an easy decision to, just do it and take this opportunity.
Okay, and walk me through, how do you start it? How were the first steps? You founded your company yourselves. How were those first months?
The first month, we started with a prototype, with an MVP.
MVP, that we talk about in this channel a lot. Yeah.
Exactly. We actually built a Telegram bot, like really easy, that we can give out to our friends, not an app because that takes long. A Telegram bot that we can give to our friends and see, and people we know, and see what's the reaction. Do people like it? And the reaction was really good. So we had like the validation that the idea that we were following was good. Then we built the first version of an iOS app really quickly, like really bare bone, no design, simple design, everything just like, fast.
Yeah.
And then we took this and took the learnings that we had and went to investors and pitched them the idea and said, hey, we have a product already, you can see it, you can try it out. And that's how we started.
Well, that's great. But I know you told me that the first month you had some money saved for this.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you had some help from the government. Tell us about that.
So financially, like we invested our own money at the beginning, and then here in Germany we have this brilliant thing that you, for half a year or maybe even up to a year, you get support from the government for your salary, so you can start a business.
Imagínense que el gobierno te dé un salario durante 6 meses o hasta un año. How much was it?
2.200.
2.200 euros por mes. Imagínense. Okay, so you started with that, your own money, then the government, and then the angels.
The business angels. Yeah.
How much were you able to raise, and how complicated it was?
We raised 200K.
200.000 euros.
For that was kind of enough for 1.5 years, and it was complicated at the beginning, like to get the first investor, like because if you can convince the first investor, then the second follows, and then if you have 10 or 5 investors, then it's super easy to get the next one, right?
Okay.
But the beginning was so hard because you can't tell a story of like, oh yeah, we have already people invested, so to get the ball rolling at the beginning was difficult, but once you get the ball rolling, it was easy. But what's also helpful is like there's this AI craze right now, right?
Yes.
GPT, so we can ride this wave, and there's also this personal self-development wave, which you could also write. So the story itself was easy to tell, just to find the first investor.
Okay. And how was it to find your co-founder?
The good thing was that, so we're friends, right?
Okay.
For 5 to 10 years
Okay.
already. So
5 to 10, that's very broad.
I don't know, maybe 7. So that was good. Like we were friends, so we had trust in each other. We knew each other. And we brainstormed these ideas together. So it came naturally. It was not like, oh, I have this idea. No, I need to find a person with these skills and that, capabilities. And the good thing is also we're very complementary. So I'm more the product person, AI person, Ole is more the IT person, also has some marketing experience. So I think we were lucky of being friends, getting to know each other, and having these complementary skills. But at the same time, it's also not easy to be friends because, you fight and then you have this personal life and the private life and they kind of like spill over into each other.
Yeah, don't tell me that I make my company with my husband.
Exactly. And like sometimes it's hard. Like your friendship,
It is.
sometimes it really goes up, but sometimes you don't want to see the person on the weekend because, you don't have enough.
Yeah. So tell me the main challenges that you face or the main blockers you had these last 2 years.
One main challenge, as I said, was investment, right? Like getting that investment ready. Another challenge is marketing, right? So finding the right users, building a brand, understanding who your users are, having the right message to the users, telling the right story, all that needs a lot of trial and error. We don't have that much money, so we need to be very, efficient. And being efficient and finding out how to find those users for little money is not easy. So that's a challenge that we're facing right now. Building the right product, finding out. Because when you start with your passion product, then you build something for yourself, but understanding what your users really want.
Super important.
Yeah.
Sometimes some founders get in love with their idea, but then their problem solving or for them is great, but then for the rest of the world it's not so relevant.
Exactly.
And do you come with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Like you have this there's a thing in startups is like you fall into the trap of building the perfect product and you lose sight of like, okay, if I have the perfect product, then it's going to tell itself, but it's not true. So you invest a lot of time on product, whereas you should rather spend it on marketing and telling your story, and building momentum. Yeah. So kind of that is a problem. And also building something you would like yourself. If you don't talk to enough users, you have to talk to users all the time. Like go to a cafe, talk to users, give them an Amazon voucher, talk to users all the time, read the book Mom Test, for example, where you learn how to do the right user interviews. That is super important because otherwise you build the wrong thing and then nobody will like it.
Okay, and if somebody's thinking about launching their own product or app or AI, whatever, what were your recommendations for them?
As I said, right, like talk to your users, build something you really like because you're going to stick with it for the next years, maybe 10 years, maybe even longer. So if you build something that you think is needed right now but you don't like, depends on your personality, but it's going to be hard. Find the right co-founder, as I said, right? Like you need to find somebody that you can work with and go through ups and a lot of downs for the next 10 years. Find somebody that is self-reflective, that you can talk to, that you can learn and discuss things with. And that's it.
Well, great. Thank you for your time, Sven. And now 30 seconds to the camera directly to talk about Layers, so people download the app.
All right. So Layers is an AI coach that helps you live a happy and fulfilled life. It helps you find clarity in your life by asking you great questions, giving you reports based on what you say. So it analyzes your entries and it has a great memory, better than ChatGPT because ChatGPT forgets everything or just remembers it all. Layers has this memory that really remembers your goals, your challenges, who you are, your relationships, and that's how it can really give you personal advice.